This is Reverend Reviews, and I think there is an apology in order on my behalf. I haven't uploaded the video in 2 weeks, and I have a very simple but also not simple explanation to that. My recording software decided to, decide it's not gonna work anymore, so I had to get some new one. Or actually, I didn't get a new recording software. I just re-downloaded this one and changed some stuff around, so it's working now. Hopefully. But other than that, my other reason is because I've been messing with editing stuff, because I do realize that unedited videos are not as fun to watch as edited videos are, and I realize that's why I'm trying to get better at editing, even though I have no clue where to start. It's a process, I know. I'm sorry about that. Other than that, though, I have to also apologize about my first video being so painfully bad. It hurts. My voice in that was obviously very monotonous and very deep like this. I don't know why I was talking like this the whole time. The game's pretty good, I guess, but no, I was talking like that because of a couple reasons. First reason, I wasn't feeling too good. Second reason, I thought for whatever reason that I needed to kind of talk like that because I thought it would make a better video. However, that is not the case. It did not make a better video, and I'm sorry that you had to sit there and listen to that for however long you endured before you gave up. But I'm gonna do better. Okay, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna promise you that I'm gonna do better. But I don't want to drag this on. I don't want a super long video. So that was a slinky. I'm sorry, I'm messing with the slinky. But I'm gonna just go ahead and get right to it. This is Metro Last Light Redux. This is a redux or a revamp of the original Metro Last Light, which was a sequel to Metro 2033. Metro 2033 was a book made by a Russian author. I don't remember his name. I'm sorry about that. I've read a little bit of Metro 2033, or I've had it read to me. Let me say it like that. I had a Russian friend who kind of tried to translate it a little bit. It got a little bit hard to do, so he stopped. But from what I've heard in broken English, it's a pretty good book. The first game was amazing for when it came out. Well, it wasn't amazing, but it was really good for when it came out. It basically follows a story, the written story, as closely as it possibly can, and it does a really good job at portraying these areas and all that. But this isn't a review of that. This is a review of the sequel. So let's review the sequel. Okay, so this game is not made by the author of the original book. As far as I know, there was only a Metro 2033 and not a Metro Last Light. That was the only book in the series the author released, as far as I know, my knowledge. Don't quote me on it. I'm not a smart guy. That's not true, but anyway, this was made by the game developers after they realized that Metro 2033 was a big success. Ooh, we got to get some more money. So they made this, and it's kind of their, if I'm right, it's kind of their own take on what would happen after the events of Metro 2033. And it's good. It's really good. Like, it's really good. The storytelling in this game is phenomenal. It can be cheesy at points, or whatever, but for the most whatever, it's really good. Other than the storytelling being redonkulously good, I love it. But other than that, the graphics in the original Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light are both beautiful games by themselves, but they both got revamps. I haven't played the Redux of 2033, but I have this one, so I will be playing that one today. Well, I won't be playing it, I'll be talking about it. Metro Last Light just looks absolutely jaw-droppingly beautiful. I don't know, this is my concern. I don't know if it's going to look good on the capture or not. I hope it does. I noticed that the capture makes the video a little bit brighter for whatever reason. So hopefully I fix that problem. Probably not. It'll probably still be there. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to do about it. But anyway, the game looks amazing. The story is really, really good. It's I really want to say that this is their own kind of spin-off of it or whatever, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. The characters are really good. All the characters from the first game are here, as well as well, if they survived, as well as characters that are new. There aren't a whole bunch of new characters. It does keep all the old characters and their personalities and their voice actors. I repeat again, they keep the voice actors. That is paramount to having good voice acting in games. You stick with your voice actors, but unless they're bad, of course. But the voice actors that they got in the first game are really good. The voice actors that they got in this game are still really good, even better because of the quality of microphones that they have. I know mine's not the best. I'm sorry about that. I'm not rich. I can't pay for a snowball yet. I will pretty soon, though. I'm getting a job. But that's not the point. We're talking about games here, not my life. The voice acting is really good in this game, as well as the character design is really good in this game. The characters, well, let me rephrase that. The way the characters act, look, and are portrayed is really good in this game. How they look is really good. One of my favorites is Khan. I won't go into who he is because I don't want to spoil anything at all, because I think everybody should play this for themselves to hear the story. Khan's obviously my favorite character, and I think he's probably everybody's favorite character. Khan is kind of that character in any game, movie, book, or whatever that everybody just likes. He's kind of like Cartman from South Park. Everybody likes Cartman, or they hate him. I love Khan. He's easily one of my favorite characters. You know, all the other characters are really good too. I don't know. I just really like Khan. I like the way he acts. I like his voice actor. I like the main character's voice actor as well. And while you don't hear the main character talking throughout the game at all, in between every chapter there is a segment where it'll tell you the name. It won't read it off, but it'll tell you the name of the chapter, and then it'll read probably a paragraph or a paragraph and a half to get you kind of like, okay, this is my objective. So you'd be like, oh, today I'm going to the red square to do, and your character will tell you that. He's a silent protagonist. Throughout the game you don't hear him. You only hear him during these cutscenes. That's a good thing. I like that. It could also be a bad thing, but it's a good thing in this game. I'll just leave it at that. I don't really know how to explain it, but you know, since we're talking about sound and how the characters sound and all that. Oh no, don't do this. Yeah, see, that was a good little example right there. But I don't want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to watch the video because that could spoil the first game or even the second game. But anyway, okay, how do I explain this? Oh yeah, of course, I'm stupid. I don't script this. If you couldn't tell, I don't script these videos. I don't have the time for it. But the sound design in this game is phenomenal. As you can hear, the little itty bitty sounds. I had the volume turned down. It's kind of loud. I don't know, but the game sounds really good. It's got a lot of good ambience in it because this does really try to push tension on you and make you feel like you're in this situation. It tries to immerse you as much as possible, and I really do enjoy that in any video game, regardless if it's Call of Duty, which don't cut me into little pieces and throw me in a fire, please. I don't want to die yet. It doesn't. I don't like Call of Duty. That's a discussion for another day. I know people are gonna ask me about it, but this game's got really good sound design regardless. The ambience is beautiful. The music in the game is really good. Kind of the theme song that's playing in the background right now is really good. It's kind of a slow guitar, kind of, you know, trailing off, kind of, I don't know. It's very relaxing. I'm not going to show you these because there's absolutely nothing other than the fact that there's absolutely nothing at all. You can't change anything. It's annoying as shit. But whatever. I can turn this up. Oh, I just want you to listen a little bit. That's just kind of a little bit of a taste of it, I guess. For the most part, the soundtrack's like that. There's a, depending on the mission you're going into, no spoilers. Depending on the mission you're going into and doodly doo whatever, it's different soundtracks. Different situations have their own soundtracks. It's kind of like Metal Gear Solid, where you get caught by somebody. Oh, you got the alert soundtrack playing now. It's not as prominent, but there's differences in every little thing, and you can notice it if you pay attention. However, the music in this game is really mostly ambience to make you feel like you're in this situation, which is good. I love it. I love it. But I guess I don't have anything other to say about the music other than I don't think I have anything else to say about the music other than that it is really, really good, as well as the ambient music is really, really good, as well as the voice acting is really, really good. The sound design of this game is just fantastic, as well as the storytelling. And like I said, some bits can get cheesy, but that's whatever. That's personal preference, I guess. In the Redux version, you have all these missions. I'm going to use missions instead of chapters, even though they are chapters. I tend to say missions because, you know, back in the old days, they're called missions. But you have a good amount of them, as you can see, and each one of these is probably about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how you play it. If you take it slow and steady like I do, it takes me, I say hour. Absolutely none of these take an hour, as far as I know, unless you suck and you die constantly. But I like to be on the slow and steady because I like to do stealthy stuff. Like, I like to be a little bit of a ninja. And this game gives you opportunities to be a little bit of a ninja constantly, all the time. You don't even have to kill anybody in this game other than at a couple of points that I'm not going to get into because I don't want to spoil anything. There are areas that you don't have a choice, but for the most part, you can get through areas without killing anybody just fine, no big problem. One thing about the sneaky stuff in this game is that it's very, very linear. When it says it's a sneaky area, you have like basically a straight line. That's your sneaky bit. You're gonna go in this direction, and then you're gonna go in this direction. If you try to go anywhere else, you're gonna have a bad time. They put the enemies in areas to where it's goddamn near impossible to sneak in any other way than how they want you to do it, and that's really annoying. However, you don't really notice it until you think about it, and if you're playing the game, you're not thinking about it because you're having a good time playing the game. In most cases, there are times where you can tell, but that's only a couple times in the game where it really is 100% scripted. You're going this way, get the fuck over it. You know, other than that though, looks really good. It plays. What am I even talking about? Let's just get into this. You have all these dang missions here, and then a cool thing about Redux Edition, or I don't know if it's just Redux or if it's the original, you got these cool things. And I'm about to sneeze. Oh no. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Okay. These are extra little missions. These ones right here in specific. These are just like fun little things to do. And then you have these three at the bottom here. And these are actually story arcs, those three at the bottom, for certain times in the story where certain things happen. And you're kind of left to wonder what happened to the certain people that were doing the certain things around the certain time. And it just ties it together a little bit more. But other than that, these ones up here, developer pack, all of this good stuff, is all just for fun. Funsies. Just do it for funzos. And they are fun. Let me just tell you that. They're really fun. I want to show you Heavy Squad. I really do. You know what? I want to do it, so I'm going to do it. I'll probably be quiet a little bit because I'll get kind of focused into it. But other than that, you know, Heavy Squad's really good. Heavy Squad's like, I don't know. I'll show you the gameplay with Heavy Squad. Keep in mind, I'm gonna play it on the lower difficulties because Heavy Squad can get kind of hard at points. But this will give me a chance to also show you the difficulties. So these aren't difficulties. This is what they call a play style. Okay, so you have your survival and your Spartan. So the Spartan is the more easygoing, It's more forgiving. There's more ammo and filters laying around and whatnot. It's more fun, like in terms of combat, where you can go through an area, mow down a million bajillion enemies, and soak up bullets like Iron Man. But survival is what I like to play, where everything's kind of in a shorter supply. You're gonna go down really fast if you get shot up a bunch. It's not even a bunch. You probably take 2 shots and you're gonna have a bad time. But it's more challenging in terms of stealth. Enemies are more perceptive. They can hear you. They can see you. They're not completely stupid. You can't walk 2 feet in front of somebody and them not notice you, kind of that thing. I'm going to play in Spartan mode just because I don't want to die like crazy fast. And then I'm going to show you this. Now, a lot of fans were up in arms about this Ranger and Ranger Hardcore. Now, why were they up in arms? I don't understand. It's just a difficulty mode. No, you're wrong. Okay, Ranger and Ranger Hardcore mode were DLC. They were pre-order DLC for the game, along with the AK-74U submachine gun variant of the AK-47, or the Kalash, as this game likes to call it, I think. So that's bad. Okay. You don't want your difficulties to be DLC. What? No, you don't do that. But these are really fun. Like, these are really fun. I love it. Basically, these just make your enemies. They make your enemies feel like they're powerhouses, and at the same time they're not powerhouses, because your enemies can kill you in like 1 or 2 shots, but at the same time, you can kill your enemies in 1 shot, easy. It's ridiculously easy. But at the same time, everything's a lot harder. There's no HUD in Ranger Hardcore, which is what I prefer. I like to get immersed. This game's very immersive. I like to play it and get immersed. There's no HUD. There's no user interface. There's no hints. There's nothing. You are literally stuck with nothing. No crosshair, nothing. It's really, really fun. The only problem I have with it is the fact that you don't have an inventory, so you can't see your grenades or your knives or whatever. But once you know what that menu looks like, you'll basically not need it. Other than that, what else can I even think of? Ranger is basically Ranger hard mode, except for you do have, the only HUD you have is your inventory, basically. And I think maybe like a bullet counter. Once you get like down to 5 bullets, it'll show you. But I'm gonna play on normal just to showcase it a little bit. I'm gonna let you listen. It'll probably be quiet. I'm sorry. I want to turn it up.
We must prepare for a great war, the final war, and it will end with the triumph of our race. The mailed fist of the legions of Reich will challenge our enemies. And if the Jackals will not surrender D6, we will take it by force! Hellreich!
Alright.
Let's roll! Hold on to your hat, Hans! The shock troopers! Finally! Oh my god! There's a ton of them! Grind your pepper on top! If they push us towards the gate, we'll run for it. Push them towards the train! We want them safe to the fire line there!
Yeah, so I mean, as you could probably see, the gunplay is really fun. It feels good to mow through all these guys. Oh man, this game's so fun.
It's a damn railgun. I only saw one of these. Got it when we attacked the smithy. Sure thing. Charge it. It takes some time to charge up after a shot. Your pepper box wins in raw firepower. The railgun wins against armored targets.
Oh, come on, man. Oh, shit. So this thing's obviously extremely overpowered. Oh no, I didn't reload it. Oh no. Oh no. No. Alright, so this is your med kit. It's literally a med kit. I used it, it didn't heal me. Alright, so I'm just going to cut that off there. So as you can tell, the gunplay feels really good. Or maybe you can't tell because you're not actually shooting the guns in the game yourself. I can understand that. It feels good to do that. Mowing down groups of enemies is fun. But that's not what the game's all about. You're not going to be doing that the whole game. There are, well, no, not really. I don't want to spoil anything. I really don't. So I'm not going to say anything other than there are a couple of times when you can do stuff like that, and depending on your playstyle, you might be able to do that whenever you feel like it. So in that merit, I guess it's really to your discretion how you play the game and how you experience it. But you know, without spoiling anything, I think this game is really good. I think the story is really good. I think the voice acting is really good. They have a bunch of voice actors, not just the main characters. You can go into these metro towns and you could literally in the first 20 seconds of the game stop and listen to like 5 at least 2-minute long conversations in the first like 20 seconds. You wake up and there's people in this place that you wake up having conversations around you, and you can just listen to them, or you could just do your objective, go from point A to point B and skip the stories. It's just little things, and there's little things you can do. There's a point where you go to a metro station and there's this beggar, and he's talking about how art is dead and how all these musicians aren't actually artists, and he's begging for a bullet so he can buy something to eat. And if you pay him a bullet, you can sit and talk to him for like a good 5 minutes about art and stuff. And then there's all kinds of stuff. I don't want to spoil anything. I really don't, so I'm not going to say much. But there's all kinds of stuff that you can do. And it really does elongate the story. It makes it a lot longer. I should have known. But it makes it a lot longer and more fleshed out of a game. And it gives it more of a story, which is really good. That's always a plus with me. If a game wants to add more story, please, by all means, do it. I love story in a game. It's kind of like a brain in a girl. Yeah, like the game looks pretty at first, but you have to be able to, you know, talk to it. But you know, other than that, game's good. Game's really good. I don't really have anything to say bad about it because there really isn't that much that I can say that is bad about it, other than the fact that there's very linear stealth segments. The game can be kind of cheesy at times with how it wants to portray things. It's very cookie cutter. That's one thing I can say. The enemies are very cookie cutter. You have your normal soldier, your heavy trooper, your normal fucking what would it be called? Your normal kind of mutated dog creature, and then you have the bigger version of it, and then the one that can fly around and all of that. It's all very cookie cutter enemies. That's one thing. You're not going to see much out of the ordinary other than a couple of enemies that I can think of. There are bosses. There's a couple of them throughout the game, but they don't really feel like bosses. Well, I take that back. They do feel like bosses, not in a traditional sense though. But you know, game's good. Other than that, you know, cookie cutter enemies, super linear gameplay at times. A couple of glitches that don't really happen at all because this game is a Redux after all. All the stuff's been ironed out of it basically. Tons of replayability because you could play through it different ways. You can play with different weapon combinations, all kinds of good stuff. It's really dependent on how you want to play it. So I would recommend it. I would say you definitely need to play Metro 2033 and then play Metro Last Light. They're both really cheap. You can get the original ones $5 a piece, I think. And I got this Redux version of it for like $3 on a Steam sale, and they go on sale constantly. Other than that, yeah, definitely get it, test out for yourself, and that's, I guess, the end of the review. Now I'm going to move on to my kind of outro thing, and it would be helpful to me if you would listen to it. It's only going to be maybe 2 minutes, if that. I need to ask you something. I need to ask you to do the one thing that everybody always asks, and could you please, and I don't want to ask it, but could you please like, favorite, and share this video? I know you're going to be like, everybody asks that, but it really helps. And I feel like most YouTubers don't say why it helps. And I don't know a whole bunch about it yet, but it helps because of the way YouTube works. The more likes a video gets, the more likely somebody's going to see it whenever they look up a video. Like if somebody were to look up Metro Last Light Redux review, they would have to wade through pages and pages to get to my video. But if it has a bunch of likes on it, they're more likely to see the video, as well as the views. If it has more views, they're more likely to see it. Other than that, if you share it with your friends, that's just the more direct way of other people seeing it and maybe even liking my shitty commentary. And then they can share it with their friends if they, you know, want to. I know you probably don't want to share it with anybody because, A, you don't want to look like whatever. Oh, I'm sharing this video, you know, it's whatever. I don't really know what to say. I can't think of a B. You know, you probably just don't want to share it because you don't want to put this on your Facebook for everybody to see, or you don't want to tell your friends about it because whatever, you're not going to remember. And that's fine by me, you know. I don't go around and share every single YouTube video that I see, but I do know that the people that are going to watch these videos are people that live around me and go to school with me, as well as family and friends. So I do know that you are going to be the people who are going to see it.
When asked how it
And
start.
son of a bitch. Okay, anyway, I don't want to draw this out anymore. This video is long enough. Thank you for surviving to the end of this video with me. Definitely pick this up for yourself. Please like, favorite, and subscribe, and also share if you're feeling generous. Actually, doing any of those things is generous. Super generous. There you go. If you're feeling like helping somebody, have a good day. But thank you for watching this, and I'm gonna go do some other stuff. And please have a good night. Bye, guys.